morning and welcome to episode 1690 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. That's tax day, everybody. Woo! If you're like me, file your extension. If you're like most people, get your taxes in. So
done and done.
You guys,
weeks ago.
You guys extend or
so on top of it? No, I'm done. So on top of it. Just so responsible.
That's pretty sweet.
Filed.
Not me, Willie.
Nice. Extension bros. There you go. I'm with you, Pat. I'm gonna do them in October. Thank you for whenever you get around to it. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. If you need more Hard Factor today, Pat's kicking us off. What do you got, Pat?
Oh, we would keep it up with some of these deportations. We're talking about Kelmar Abrego Garcia, who's in that Supermax El Salvadorian prison. And the two men that could have gotten him out got together today, and you won't believe what they said.
Came together for Kelmar, huh?
No. No.
Or were they discussing how to get more innocent people in the jails over there?
Well, it's Americans now. But yeah, well, anyway, we'll get to it.
Damn.
Spicy.
Watch what you say, Pat. You don't want to end up in an El Salvadorian prison. That's for sure.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I've already written them about you a couple times, so we'll see what happens.
You've written Santa Claus about me?
Do you think people are writing deportation wish lists?
Oh, yeah.
Trump?
Oh yeah, dude. That
and
guy,
I think
Ben
you
Palmer,
should get this Gardner. He's in Montgomery. And
dude, this comedian I follow, Ben Palmer. Palmer Trolls, check him out. He's awesome. He set up a fake immigration reporting website, and then he just catches.
Nice.
That's awesome. The people.
It would never be approved by the courts, and hopefully never approved by the current president. But the press secretary fucked up when they asked her like a couple weeks ago, like, would Trump consider deporting like American citizens that are acting up like against him and just bad American citizens? And she's like, oh yeah, that's on the table.
Oh, she didn't fuck up because I'm pretty sure he full update on that today.
Yeah,
full update on that from today.
Yeah,
more in Pat's segment. Stay tuned. Mark is on deck. What you got, Mark?
Got a bit of a victory lap on the Texas Lotto scenario.
Okay, called it.
Arbitrage lottery. You're going to want to hear about.
Telling me
there's some people that take advantage of it.
You're telling me there's a fraudulent lottery out there? I won't believe it. Wes is in the hole. What do you got, Wes?
Sad story about a UFC legend coming out. He's losing his mind, and there's various theories on why he's losing his mind. But it's let's just say some people that he knows are in deep trouble. Just being around them. That's where his life's at over there in Hawaii.
You already don't want to be on a Hawaiian's home surf. If you get on BJ Penn's home surf, you're going to end up in the hospital at best.
Yeah. Man, stuff. All right, we'll dive into that. Truly in the hole, that story with Wes. And then I am clean up today. I'm going to tell you about hacked crosswalks in the Bay Area. One of the greatest one of the funniest hackings, I'd say, or one of the most effective protest hackings I've seen in a while.
I love any hacking, especially the hacking of crosswalks. Oh, I mean, not when I get hacked, but yeah, I mean, I read a hacker magazine, I listen to a hacker podcast. I like hacking.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And for most of us out there, just use a password protector. That's the biggest thing. But maybe the city of Palo Alto and other areas in the Bay Area want to listen to that too. Because
look at it, he crossed because it said walk. He got hit by a car. Look at him.
Oh no, it's not like that. They still work. You'll see. It's they didn't like endanger the citizens. They just you'll see. It's a prank.
It's not what hackers do, Mark. That's not how white hats roll.
Well, some of them, but some of them. I don't know the terms. Some of them seem to be a little bit malevolent, but these ones, no threat to the community. Just laughs. You'll like it.
Look at all these homeless people crossing into traffic.
Nah, it's not that style. Okay. A different style of prank. Okay. Different style of prank. ending it light. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Yeah, if you've been following the deportations right? It's been crazy, right? Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act, right? Wartime act, supposed to be used during wartime to get rid of them, like they did the Japanese in the internment camps. And some planes went out, 3 planes, to deport a bunch of Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador, Tren de Aragua. We heard about this. Now, a judge was like, hey, can't do that. And the administration played coy, essentially sending a plane after the judge had written or issued his verbal order. They sent that plane. And then he didn't write it down, and then he wrote it down. And then they still sent a plane. And then the president of El Salvador made fun of the judge.
It wasn't laminated.
On X, laughy emoji at him. And anyway, it's been in court since, okay? And it's come out who got deported.
But SCOTUS approved that he was allowed to do this, right?
SCOTUS approved?
Yeah, didn't they rule that
they ruled unanimously 9-0 that he should attempt to get the guy to come back.
No, I'm not talking about the guy that
the plane thing, Wes, they
said they shifted the venue,
the wartime act, and then they went back on it recently. So I think they've done both. They've said yes and no on it. I think
we're not talking about that one, but that one is complicated. SCOTUS said at least the venue should be in Texas or Louisiana, I believe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's not who we're talking about.
Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Pax. I know you're about to get going, but this is just an incredible live comment from the Luck No More. Good day, gents. First live show I've been able to catch in a while. I'm just here a few hours post-vasectomy. Gonna try too hard not to laugh. Hey, you'll be getting the last laugh with all those sweet cream pies coming your way soon, all right?
The hardest part I hear, though, is not ejaculating. In the time frame you're not allowed to ejaculate after a vasectomy.
Yeah, hopefully we don't make you come laugh. Yeah.
Good luck.
Your safety window.
Yeah.
Just stare at us, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Keep watching Hard Factor. You're not gonna come for days.
We're Jay's-free podcast.
You'll laugh though, so then you're gonna have a sore prostate. But better than having an accidental kid.
That's right. Anyway, the guy we are talking about is Kilmar. Okay, Abrego Garcia, and Kilmar is from El Salvador. Okay, right. But he's not from Venezuela, so he's not in Tren de Aragua. But he was investigated in 2019 for being part of MS-13, okay? But then the judge, I guess, in 2019 was like, I don't buy it. He's been in the country 15 years. He runs a roofing business, lives in Maryland. And the judge put a stay on a deportation order. Said, no, it's not happening under the understanding that he would probably get murdered if he got sent back to El Salvador by MS-13, right? So he's like, cool. I'm going to just keep it on here in Maryland. Because this judge laid this order down, but then he still got picked up and deported, which the Justice Department admitted in court was an error. Said we fucked up, administrative error. Of course, that lawyer for the Justice Department was promptly fired because you never admit that you're wrong.
Because somebody had to take the fall. But
someone had to take the fall.
And then they still snapped the ball and got the playoff in football terms here.
Wrong is gay.
Right. So April 4th, the district judge, Paul.
So they threw the flag and then they sacrificed, homeboy over at the feds. They sacrificed him, but they're like, yeah, but we still ran the play. And in fact, he's out of the stadium now.
I would take a golden parachute and an early retirement over a Venezuelan jail. I'll tell you that much.
100%.
Well, he's in El Salvadorian Supermax, isn't he?
He's in the El Salvadorian Supermax, 100%. That's where he's at. He's in El Salvadorian Supermax. Same place that gay hairdresser that they're talking about is in. Turns out that guy never even stepped foot in the United States legally. He came here for asylum, got detained at the border, and was in ISIS custody the entire time he was here, before he was then sent to a Supermax prison in El Salvador. Should have listened.
That was the wrong time to be crossing the border when Trump got elected.
It really was.
Wrong time. Wrong time.
But back to Kilmar, the judge, Paul Innis, said, or Xinis, how do you pronounce that? Zenis?
Yeah.
Paula.
Might be
Judge
silent.
Paula.
Might be Innis.
Judge Paula. She said, hey, you better get that fucker back here. She ordered the administration on April 4th to facilitate and effectuate his return. And there's a lot of people in the administration say, we can't, man. We got no jurisdiction over there, okay?
It's as hard as pronouncing your last name, Judge. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We couldn't possibly.
Everyone's head is shaved by now. It's going to be hard to spot them.
Exactly. Which one of these shaved head guys do you want us to grab out of here?
One of these cowering head shaved motherfuckers.
They're all crying. How do you want me to find the crying one with the shaved head?
Yeah, if you look at the pictures, it's hard to pick somebody out. It's like a Where's Waldo in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Trump administration was like, all right, we're taking this to the Supreme Court where we got our pocket boy Clarence Thomas. Okay, we're taking it right to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ruled unanimously, 9-0, that the Trump administration should facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia to the United States. See, you just can't justify this one at all outside of the law because they admitted there was an error, and there was in fact an error.
Yeah,
they have to. The wording of the exact thing though is like they have
mentally though.
The wording of the exact thing is like they have to attempt, right? And so what the El Salvadorian president then did today basically nullified the ruling.
Right. So that's essentially the Supreme Court.
How much money do you make if you get sent incorrectly to a El Salvadorian supermax prison described as hell on earth? Like,
because you're not a citizen.
100 million? Okay, none. Okay.
But anyway, as Will's getting to, this is where the only funny part of it, I guess, kind of comes into play.
It's not that funny, but it's kind of crazy how it happened. Yeah. I mean, describe it. Yeah.
So today you have the El Salvadorian president, okay, and President Trump in a room. And effectively the Supreme Court gave deference to the president or the State Department because Little Marco does have the ability to deport anyone. Essentially, the Constitution is being stress tested on all fronts right now. So the Supreme Court was like, get him back, okay?
Right.
9-0, but also giving deference to the president's power. Pretty much
like try to get him back. You should try to get the right thing to do is try to get him back.
Get him back.
The right thing to do is try to get him back. 9-0.
The administration saying, how can we do that? How can we even do that? And then you have the two guys literally who could make that decision in a room on Monday in the Oval Office. You got the president of El Salvador.
What they're saying they can't do it?
Trump. He said when asked if he was going to release him, he said the president of El Salvador said, quote, "The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist back in the United States? I'm not going to do that. I don't have the power to return him to the United States."
This is the guy that said send over anyone, including U.S. citizens, will take them. So they can take them, but they can't give him back.
They're both sitting there saying, there's nothing we can do, guys. It's out of our hands. Whose hands is it fucking in?
He probably had a record in El Salvador, and the guy's basically saying, like, look, I'm not giving you up now that he's in my jail. And
have you ever tried communicating with a warden at that prison? He is tough as nails, guys.
Was he wanted in his home country?
There's no evidence of that. But
if he was going to be killed by MS-13 if he returned home,
that's what
Well, if you don't join their gang, a lot of times they'll kill you.
Now he's in there
the
with
gang,
them all.
they probably won't kill you, right? So either he never joined and pissed them off, or he left,
or was an arrival.
He was
Rule number one: you can't leave MS-13 and start a roofing company.
That's true. Here's what I know, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy because what the president said, right? El Salvador's president, what him saying that basically is like it totally nullifies everything that the court ruled because that on camera shows
El Salvador's
he's not.
It's like, hey, we're like all you guys. You should come back, but
thanks for sending. We've been looking for this.
I mean, do you think of any president, El Salvador's president's not just there to literally suck Donald Trump's fingers? I mean, that's why he's there. He's just suck his little fingers.
He's a big time ally. Yeah, I mean, and so he's gonna do whatever. I'm sure this is like WWE style. I mean, they planned that shit out beforehand. I'll
answer that question, but I see a few fingers that are getting dry.
So I gotta suck them.
He breaks out the steel chair and just beats the reporter to death that asked the question.
Later we're going to take him to the prison, right? He's going. The guy who asked the question is coming with me, right?
That was so staged. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah.
Later in the meeting, Donald Trump just went ahead and said it that he wants to deport some violent criminals who are U.S. citizens to El Salvadorian prisons.
Did he say it like he said like some of you? Was he talking to the reporters? I didn't understand.
I'm sure because he has a very contentious relationship. But he said, very violent criminals who are U.S. citizens. Sure, I want to send them. We're moving into the black bag era of America, guys, where you could be black bagged potentially and sent. Not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, you don't want to get sent to El Salvador.
Potentially incorrectly.
Yeah, or at all. It's not even legal at all to deport a U.S. citizen.
I mean, well, it'll be interesting to see if that ever happens, which I doubt it would. I mean, that would be a serious situation.
Like we have a lot of prisons here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and they're for profit.
A ton of prisons here. Yeah.
Most in the
Not
world.
enough, Mark.
All right.
Look, what are we gonna? I couldn't possibly do anything about it, guys.
But
We're
the
just
thing about El
literally
Salvadoran prisons is we don't allow cameras in there for them to get their stories out to the nosy media, who will also be joining them potentially in the El Salvadoran prison.
right.
Yeah.
Except when Discovery Channel comes down there for world's most dangerous prisons.
Right.
What if they spotted that guy? He's like, I'm the guy.
Yeah, please help me. No, I think the warden and the boys will take care of him before that happens.
Bring the man home, father.
Yeah, bring him home.
He's a father.
This is fucked up.
It's been here 15 years.
Unless, of
Bring
course,
him
he
home.
was a member of MS-13 and did bad shit, and then he belongs to El Salvador, I guess.
It's
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
we'd only know
crazy.
that if you had due process, wouldn't we?
I don't know what El Salvador's reasoning behind it is. The president did not give that of when he gave his statement. He just laughed at the reporter and said absolutely not.
From the
So,
looks of it, one day in that prison, if you're not in a gang and you're innocent, it's probably a lot. That's probably going to be tough. It's not exactly like stubbing your toe.
it's an
It's gonna be
experience.
tough
Yeah,
to
you're
come back from. Yeah.
diving all the way into the most intense prison experience possible.
We
Yeah.
cannot be a refuge for the world's criminals. So if you think that you can escape the United States of your past crimes, you are incorrect.
Yeah,
Like the only-
they're really throwing
Isn't
it
that
down.
right?
The only positive of getting sent to any
in it.
jail is
Isn't it?
coming out with a gym body. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only other way to do that without getting sent to jail is by signing up for Fitbod. It's
Yeah.
like having a
It's swole.
cellmate with you who's intimidating you into working out, keeping you on task, on track, telling
And showing you the moves too.
what exercises to do in your limited space of your jail cell or your home.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe
Yep.
you have weights. Maybe you're at the gym, but it's an app that's totally customizable to your body, your fitness level, your journey. Avoid boredom and plateaus. You don't need a personal trainer. You can get the results you want with a personalized workout from Fitbod. Fitbod's fantastic. You pop your weight in there, your target muscle group, kind of what you're lifting. It's like, remember in high school weight training class, you'd keep a little notebook with you about what you were lifting, then you might lose it. You might think, did I nail that right? How can I look at this as a data set? With Fitbod, you can. Okay? You can. You can actually set a goal. I want to get stronger, and I'm going to get stronger, and it'll help you stay focused. Maybe with some, I don't know, notifications. Hey, did you work out today? You should. Fitbod.
What equipment I have access to? Prison jumpsuit,
Exactly.
Yeah, just don't
Bam.
get caught with the Fitbod
Three-
app in the prison.
3x3 space. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're going to prison, Fitbod, because you want to go in swole as hell. Don't get taken advantage of. Level up your workout and join Fitbod today.
Prison gains would be crazy with
get
Fitbod on the
Your
inside.
personalized workout plan.
Oh my
You can get
goodness.
25% off your subscription or try the
Whoa.
app for free for 7 days if you go to fitbod.me/hardfactor, one word. That's fitbod.me/hardfactor. That's one word together there.
'Tis the season to do it. Hey, you guys remember that whole Texas Lotto biggest jackpot ever of almost $100 million that we as a group in the Discord tried to win for like 2 months straight, and then yeah, remember that? And then someone won it.
Yeah. It was an awesome time. We got so close so many times, but yeah. No, I
Yeah.
remember it.
And then one winning ticket hit, and we're like, oh, motherfuckers.
That
And
was disappointing. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like a month or two after that, Texas politicians like Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said the win was the, quote, biggest theft from the people of Texas in the history of Texas, because it came out that the winning ticket was printed from a Jack Pocket. Is that the app, Jack Pocket?
Yeah.
Wes?
Jack.
Right.
Jack Pocket,
That-
which is like an
that's
app
what
you
we
can
were
get on your
using.
phone. You can buy
called a
scratch
courier.
offs and lottery tickets.
Yeah.
from
So
your phone.
when I saw that, I was like, so how did we not win? Because that was the app we were using. I was so confused.
At the time, I thought to myself, oh, this is just the first time someone's won with this courier service, which
yeah, and I
happened.
said that, and I told you guys on the show that someone probably bought every winning ticket, probably an employee or CEO of Jack Pocket, allegedly, which I can't.
reason
really
being is
say.
because they had the divider, right? Because
Yeah.
they had the minimum amount of stuff in the store that you
They
could
own a
have to legally be a
storefront.
store.
Yep,
And then
they
had
own a
a
storefront in North
divider.
Austin called like North Austin Lotto, and in the front of the store, who knows what's happening, but in the back of the store, they have official Texas lottery machines that can print tickets. And not only was the ticket
opposite.
ordered on Jack Pocket, but it was printed from a
Jack Pocket machine is in the front. Supposed to be in the front where the quote unquote store is, where there's like nothing on the shelves, and then Jack Pocket's offices are supposed to be in the back over this dividing wall. So it's like you get an order on Jack Pocket, you walk around the wall to the, now you're in the store, quote unquote, where the machine is. That's how it's supposed to be.
And you remember how they just ended up banning Jack Pocket from Texas, like kind of like a Pornhub scenario. If you log into Jack Pocket and you're in Texas, they give you a message saying, "Write your senator." They shut us down.
Right. Every state that has Jack Pocket has one of these same stores we're talking about. That's how they run their situation.
You guys remember all that, right? I said that someone, printed all the tickets, and Wes said I'm crazy. Guess what?
We texted on the side too, and about you being crazy about that.
Oh, so you both did. Okay, cool. Guess what? That's exactly what happened.
I don't know anything about Lolano. So I've been sitting.
Well, there was one theory.
Turns out I was crazy like a fox.
One theory I said that you were crazy. Not all.
Mark's
the one that came to be true, and I'll tell you about.
No, it was something else.
Guess what? It's exactly what happened, minus potentially Jack Pocket's involvement so far. We shall see on that. But to make matters worse, we do now know that the Texas Lotto themselves was complicit. So after months of
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's worse than Jack Pocket. After months of investigation and eyewitness testimonies, it turns out that an overseas group of gamblers and investment bankers, with the permission of the Texas Lotto, ordered 12 machines and operated out of dentist office, a defunct warehouse, and 2 other locations, one of which sounds like that North Texas lottery store owned by Jack Pocket, since the ticket was printed from there, and they won. And they printed over 100 tickets a minute out of all 12 machines, getting over 99% of the combinations, paying $25.8 million to print up 25.8 million tickets.
So they just flooded the zone. When the pot got big enough, they knew that they would get fucked for this, but they just did it anyways to win the jackpot.
And they ran the risk of someone else winning too, which was nuts to me.
That was your thing, but Wes, the whole thing was no one had won in 100 tries, and the odds of winning the Texas Lotto, even if played at a higher rate for a jackpot, is still probably at best 1 in 10, 1 in 15. So they were willing to run the math and say there's a less than 10% chance we'll get fucked. There's a 99.5% chance we'll win. And if we do get fucked, we'll break even. If we don't, we'll double up, which is what they did because they skirted some taxes too. So I was right.
Right. So they doubled up, and now they're going to have to pay for all this. Like, it's going to end up being a wash for them in the end, probably, because
don't
they have access to Jack Pocket's database and the numbers? So that
no, they just printed every combination. No. So the group project was the brainchild of a former London banker turned bookmaker, Bernard Mariantelli. Sounds a little Italian too, living over there in London. And it was bankrolled by legendary and secretive Tasmanian gambler Zeljko Ranjigacek, who goes by the name of Joker. That's his nickname. And they use
he'll take your fucking fingers, dude, if you don't win.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yes, Pat. This guy is intense. The Joker's intense. They used family and even children to print and collect the tickets in an operation that has been likened to a sweatshop by Governor Greg Abbott and Texas senators. So this is a photo of Joker from 2010. He's known around the world as the Loch Ness Gambler because you can only get a picture of him once every 15 years. He lays real low while making hundreds of $1 million of years in arbitrage profits, running gambling syndicates. He likes to stay way off the radar. He changed his name from Zeljko Ranjigacek to John Wilson decades ago.
Better.
But still goes by Z to people that make a fuck ton of money with him inside his inner circle. Apparently, Z or the Joker is part of a syndicate of rich and smart gamblers that spend an estimated $10 billion a year on mostly arbitrage lottery scenarios around the world, including lotteries, casinos, and racetracks. And their known profits are in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Probably a lot more. Yeah.
But
wow.
They got permission. So they went to the Texas Lottery Commission and said, hey, we got an idea here.
Yep.
And they said, cool, run it.
They said if you pay full price for the official Texas lottery machines plus delivery fee, we'll not only allow it, but we'll deliver it straight to those shady businesses. And that's exactly what they did.
Easy for them to do.
They delivered the machines to their dentist office, warehouse.
At the end of the day, I mean, Texas allowed them to do this scam.
Yes,
right. They should get that jackpot back.
If this is not a line too far as a lottery official, what the fuck is like? What is your job as a lottery official if not saying no
They don't care. They got
international
money off of the
money.
12 machines. They got money. They always win when the lottery wins. They take percentages.
He's like, the quarterly deadline to sell these machines is coming up. So
yeah, we got 12 machines laying around. Yeah.
Radko says he's going to take all 12. So.
Is that it's theoretically not illegal? Is that what it is? It's theoretically.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what their lawyers are saying from multiple states here. They got a big operation. So London banker.
Well, they catch you on a loophole. They probably, like Mark's saying, wow, I didn't know that they're going to get off. That's incredible. So that's why they make so much money. That's crazy. And then people learn a lesson, and then
then like a state like Texas will ban jackpot, and they're like, okay, we already took down the biggest winnings in Texas ever. We'll move on. They're worldwide. So London banker bookmaker Marion Telly crunched the numbers, and he ran the Texas Lotto by Z in 2023, and then he got bankrolled. Z said, yeah, of course. Let's do it. And then they got to work. The banker flew into Texas with, quote, a few of his trusted lieutenants, and they started working with the Texas Lottery to get the 12 official lottery machines shipped in by truck directly to where they asked for them. Fucked up. Once they had the machines, Marion Telly and his lieutenants and their family members, including young children, had the machines printing 24/7 to get almost every single combination printed before the next drawing, and it took 3 days to do.
So, but like,
that's awesome.
If the Texas Lottery is looking at these guys coming in and saying, cool, this is a ton of dough, let's bring the money in, it's not technically illegal, isn't effectively what Jackpocket was doing better? Because like Jackpocket had one or two machines per state, and they're offering this massively convenient situation, right?
Oh yeah, what the Texas Lottery did is way worse than what Jackpocket was doing.
Jackpocket fell on the sword right away while they were investigating. The senators and the lieutenant governor were like, we need to do something now, and the first thing they did was ban Jackpocket. But
Jackpocket innovated lottery for the first time since lottery's been around, effectively.
And they made it easier for these syndicates.
Yeah, but it was like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
They had the machines.
This has nothing to do with Jackpocket, though.
Yeah, it does. We'll see. It has a lot to do with lottery.com, who works with them. The rest was pretty much predetermined with a hold your breath, no one else wins the lottery, making a double up a break even if that happened, and a waste of everyone's time and efforts. Success, they were the only winning ticket, and an anonymous winner under an LLC called Rook Texas claimed the prize. That goes back to Mr. Wilson, who's his new name, which Jackpocket announced as their first huge lottery win purchased through their app. The syndicate actually used lottery.com, which must link up with Jackpocket to input every number combination. So the Joker has accounts on lottery.com. He funded $25.8 million into it. And then people with his logins printed up, they paid $1 per ticket, 25.8 million tickets through lottery.com, which sent the things to Jackpocket, and then the machines printed up all the tickets.
So they use Jackpocket's interface. They use Jackpocket's interface to do it.
I assume Jackpocket claimed the order was done through them, and they claimed it was printed on their machine. The report was claiming that lottery.com was used. So I assume, in ticket sales, there's third parties, and lottery.com must be an online thing that interfaces with Jackpocket.
The reason why Jackpocket is included in this is because their business model makes this scam possible, right? Like having those machines in private places. And then allowing them to print official tickets is what makes the scam possible. So that's why Jackpocket's tied to it.
Jackpocket loves these guys because they spent $25.8 million plus service fees. Like, who else is ordering that many tickets? But
it sounds like
absolutely loves the Joker.
They could have done it without Jackpocket because the lottery gave them these machines. It just would have taken longer.
Much longer, and that time was of the essence because they had to get all the combinations printed in between drawings. So they needed something. This is the quickest option.
Jackpocket definitely facilitated, but they could have done it without Jackpocket
if they had 100 more people penciling in things.
That's what the guy from Australia did with the Virginia lottery.
It would have been a nightmare. In response to written questions addressed to Marion Telly and the Joker, Glenn Galebend, a New Jersey lawyer who represents the Rook Texas LLC, said, "Hey, man, all laws and rules and regulations are followed, pal. So suck a dick." The money, by the way, to save millions in taxes was funneled through a Detroit law firm. So that's lawyers in New Jersey and Detroit working for these guys. And then to an offshore account owned by Mr. Wilson in the Isle of Man, a known tax haven. Tax haven off the
big money.
Big tax haven, money.
Damn.
Blind so what they profit in the end?
About 30 million.
30. Wow. Damn, they got all the taxes taken.
The Joker's heavily funded lottery.com accounts, like I said, were the purchasing agent, and then they went to through Jackpocket to the 12 printing machines. Now everyone in Texas needs to drive to a store and look an attendant in the face when they want to pay the idiot tax, which clearly in some instances is the genius tax. But if you're on the wrong side of the fence, which we are, because as George Carlin says, it's one big club and you ain't in it, even the biggest jackpots are rigged against us, fellas.
That's what I just did. Had to drive to the store and be like, here's my 10 draw ticket.
You might want to play the medium jackpots from now on.
That is crazy.
Well, Mega Millions went up to $5 a pop. I learned that. So we're gonna have some like $3 billion jackpots soon,
dude. And they do this all the time.
Well,
all
the
over
Joker's
the
gonna
world.
get those. The Joker, who they need to make a movie about. They do. Well, there's so many syndicates. It's not just this one. They need to make a movie about the Joker. He started getting into gambling at the age of 12 when he got a roulette wheel as a gift and couldn't stop playing with it. In 1980, the Joker. That's when he got the itch. In 1980, the Joker got linked up with a math whiz, David Walsh, this hippie here, who was a friend of a friend. And Walsh, in a 2022 interview, said they wanted him because he could do probabilities, and he wanted them because they could talk to girls. And they started taking down blackjack tables and women pretty much right away. It's been a hell of a run.
Is that movie with Woody Harrelson about them? That with like the kids? It's like based on them.
The MIT kids.
No, that's Kevin Spacey, and that movie is played in Italy on repeat on Kevin Spacey Day. That's 21. That's the MIT group. Another group. There's also a Princeton group I'm about to tell you about. The Z's group, the Joker's group, and David Walsh became known as the Punters Club, and their first big lottery score came from an arbitrage lottery in New South Wales decades ago when they bought every single combination and profited $1.2 million. Walsh told the conference they also won $63 million when he did an interview in 2022 that they won $63 million in a Tokyo horse race that they had the edge in. They took down a German lottery doing the same thing, and that they would go to Las Vegas a lot on big boxing events like Tyson fights and stuff to take advantages when betting limits became arbitrage for them. The Joker is well known by several governments, including Australia, who didn't try to stop him, but did try to shake him down in the 2010s for tens of millions of dollars in back taxes for winnings. And they settled out of court with the Joker in a clear shakedown and attaboy, keep up the good work scenario.
That's amazing.
Other governments try to take the Joker's profits as well, but not shut him down because everyone he's a valuable asset for everyone. Walsh has since retired from gambling, the guy who was his odds guy, with the permission from the Joker, who didn't kill him and instead gave him his blessing on his new endeavor, which was he built the Museum of Old and New Art, which is now one of Tasmania's top tourist attractions, and he likens it to a fucked up adult Disneyland because it's all about sex and death.
Dude, Tasmania is the coolest place ever. I got to go there now. This is incredible.
Now we know a little bit about Tasmania. They're pretty sweet.
Shit. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Joker has not given up gambling or arbitraging his way through casinos around the world. To this day, this is a quote from Anthony Curtis, the publisher of the Las Vegas Advisor newsletter, who said, "Everyone respects and loves him for what he's done. He's also just very professional, very honest, and very trustworthy." So I guess that guy's on his payroll. He's known as the greatest blackjack player of all time, the Joker is. And the London banker, that brainchild, the Texas Lotto, left Deutsche Bank to set up a bookie app for betting on soccer, rugby, and rooker and darts back in 2012. And the Joker liked his business, so he hit him up and said, "You want to be business partners?" And they've since joined up on multiple companies that win money in arbitrage gamblings ever since. A lot of people are saying this is cheating. A lot of others are saying, how is this any different than the Wall Street investors and billionaires taking advantage of the stock market? Like the kind of how did Peter Thiel get J.D. Vance into the White House and Congress for the past decade plus?
Sure, it's no different
winning
than
in the stock market, and then the billionaires recently made hundreds of millions of dollars on the recent stock market dip.
Sure. Yeah, it's I mean, the rich get richer. Yes, that's true. This is just a cool scheme. I mean, it's like movie worthy. It's just listening to how they operated, pulled it off totally in secrecy, technically followed all these laws, even though it's like what they're doing is obviously very illegal.
Can anyone get a lottery machine?
Yeah, but you need to print every combination, and you're going to be going up against other groups because, like, there's another group besides the MIT group and the punters known as the Black Swans. They're all Princeton grads. They do this exact same thing. They win big state lotteries all the time, and have even been photographed with big checks. And it's found out later they're part of this Princeton group. They win a lot of state lotteries. Now they've decided to be more like the Loch Ness Z and go off the radar and claim anonymous, but they still are very active, this Princeton group. They did, although, take a loss on $50 scratch-offs on a long weekend in Oklahoma where they rented hotel rooms and saw that there's a $5 million winner and there weren't a lot of tickets in circulation left. So the odds were, hey, if we buy everything in Oklahoma, we're going to win the $5 million. And they just fucked up hotel rooms scratching off that scratcher for 3 days straight and didn't win. So they don't win every time.
Yeah, I mean, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, but the Joker, I mean, he keeps cooking. Doesn't matter.
He's like the Warren Buffett of gambling. Like if he's going to invest in it, it's likely going to pay out.
Yeah, you might want to get in on one of his ventures.
So we're fucked. There's just
big lotteries. Are the big lotteries safe because it's just too many combinations to buy?
They are until they become arbitrage.
Safe to not win. They're safe to not win.
Yeah.
You are safe. We are safe.
But they have to buy like 330 million combinations.
They can.
You got to wonder how many.
If it's arbitrage.
You got to wonder how many wins are arbitrage, and you just never hear about it.
I would say the vast majority.
A lot.
I would say absolutely not. For these guys to do this, they had to
hear
go
anything
to
in
the
that
state lottery commission. For them to do it, they had to go to the state lottery commission, get permission. How often? Okay. I mean, Texas is dumb.
No, you're right. The groups that I mentioned don't exist, and there aren't 100 other ones.
Yeah, but you could also do that. You could even, I mean, if you had a big enough operation, you could even do it by hand. I mean, technically, it's just kind of nuts. Like,
this was a big operation, even for them, and probably the Mega Millions of Powerball would be pretty hard to do. But they focus on these type of medium to big operations.
Right. Yeah. The probabilities have to be somewhat lower to be manageable.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So they're out there. We can't even win on the big lotteries.
So
everything's rigged.
Yeah,
everything's rigged.
Stop playing once it reaches arbitrage, I guess. Or
you got to play it when it's medium, when it's like a good lottery, but not a great lottery.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That's wild.
That's nice. All right. That's sad. Here's more sad stuff.
Sad me, daddy.
Sad you. I'm gonna sad you. You guys remember this
guy? What else can't we win?
BJ Penn.
Yeah.
Mark likes him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mark, can you tell us about he's from Hawaii. Prodigy, many of them called him. What else do you know about BJ?
So like he was early UFC when he was successful, like not the first like 5 to 10, but a little bit after that. He was like the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world. It was always Brazilians like the Gracies. He was the first non-Brazilian to win the world jiu-jitsu, and so the UFC reached out to him. They're like, come fight for us. And he actually ended up beating Matt Hughes in the biggest upset in UFC history when he moved up in weight to win the welterweight belt at 170. He was usually a lightweight, so he won that, and then later he won the lightweight. So he was like the second or first ever to win UFC belts in multiple divisions, and he was just the best jiu-jitsu guy. He had like they call him like the Elastic Man too, because he had this guard where he could like bend his leg over his hip, and so no one could mount him, and he just would like fuck. He was tough as nails, but he a good fightor.
Very tough. Yeah.
I'll tell you what else is elastic is his brain. His brain's turning elastic.
Yeah.
Because he's losing it. I don't know if you guys remember this. I had a brief encounter with BJ Penn while I was in Hawaii. I said he wasn't happy. I saw him at a restaurant. I said, "What's up?" I was just another fat white guy invading his state. You know, so he wasn't really happy that I saw him and said, "What's up?"
He didn't say mahalo back.
No, but he didn't kill me, which was great. And he seemed like he was of sound mind, but that was many years ago. Not anymore. BJ Penn is losing his mind, and he has a lot of people worried, a lot of people concerned for not only him but his family, because the gist of it is BJ Penn believes his whole family has been murdered and has been replaced by imposters who are trying to steal his assets. Okay, that's what he believes.
Assets.
Yeah, steal his properties, his homes, his assets.
Pretty
his
sure
money.
It's been well documented that he stole his own assets.
Right. I don't want to be a dick, but he is a original UFC fighter.
Didn't make a ton of money. He made some money in sponsorships.
Assets.
Yeah. Right. Well, he's got like BJPenn.com. I think he's part of.
Jiu-jitsu.
I'm going to buy it now from him.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the last week, he's posted some very insane videos claiming that his family members, again, are not who they are. Here's the first one that he posted about a month ago, where he claims that the woman in his kitchen is not his mom, but in fact a fake mom that is only there to steal from him.
Making Tito Ortiz look like a genius.
What's up, Paul? Huh? Fuck you, cunt. Fuck you. What? You can only do this because you get the government behind you. Fuck you. Like get crazy. Fuck you. This lady right here, look at her ass and legs. She's acting like my 79-year-old mother, but she's not my 79-year-old mother. And it's interesting when you Google Lorraine Abele, our house pops up because this lady acts like Lorraine Inouye. So you Google Lorraine Abele and this house pops up, and then you look him, and then my mom's name starts popping up. She's trying to steal everything, and this is not my mother. And I'm putting this up because she's saying that she's going to get an attorney and try to do something. She's trying to throw me out, and if I attack her, she'll try to do something, TRO or something else, but she's...
Anyway, you get it.
Look at her ass and legs.
He also posted this caption: Hilo Police Department, I need your help. My mother, Lorraine Shin, my brother, J.D. Penn, my brother, Reagan Penn, and my brother, Kalani Mamakuza were all murdered. And I need you to investigate these guys to get these people out of my house and off my properties, because the people that are on his properties are imposters. Okay. Here's another insane video. This one really.
So so his family lives with him.
He ran for governor of Hawaii like 3 years ago.
Yeah, he's got like
he believes that they were all murdered overnight one night and then replaced with
imposters,
body doubles.
Yeah, and he's got more proof. Will, I mean, it's hard to argue with this video that he posted as well.
Okay.
I made a video earlier talking about my mom and my brothers getting hurt. This is real JD and fake JD. Real JD has all of his teeth and a pointy chin. Fake JD is taller and has a crooked front left tooth and no back teeth, even though me, JD, and Reagan never had a cavity in our whole entire lives. I finally found a real picture of JD, his wedding picture. The fake JD with no teeth is from the last Thanksgiving a couple months ago. This is the original picture that I noticed something was strange because his eye color was brown, not black, and had a crooked front tooth, which I never saw before. I Googled JD's name and there were no pictures of him on the internet, only one or two of himself and none showing his teeth. So I asked Rich Cho, Bellator matchmaker who is always with JD, to send me a picture of JD with his teeth. Rich sent a picture, but it looked like it was photoshopped. His tooth was extra white, so I kept bugging fake Lorraine Chin about JD's teeth and that it wasn't him. To have JD send me a picture, and then this new fake JD guy sends a picture of all of his teeth back in his mouth. Third JD has a growth up on his right eye, his right collar.
Yeah, you get it. He's lost his mind, and he thinks that his brother is
sad.
Yeah,
I like how he showed two cauliflower ears for fake and real, but it's like, no, see, fake JD's cauliflower ear is slightly different than real JD's cauliflower ear.
His brother's trying to send him teeth pics. He's like, maybe
there's lots of comments saying that meth is big in Hawaii, and this is classic meth behavior.
If you've ever watched Dog the Bounty Hunter, you know that meth is huge in Hawaii.
And it's not long before we see a Hail Hitler coming on his account, because this is not CTE behavior. This is bipolar disorder and schizophrenia with meth mixed in.
And to the point of the meth, his biggest critic online that he's been feuding with posted this video, which BJ actually posted on his own Instagram to try to refute it. But here's what this guy says.
Looks like Bijo's losing it again. I told you guys about this shit like a year ago, and I was the bad guy. Everybody's like, bro, leave Bijo alone, bro. That's my uncle. He's a champ. You just hating on the champ. Just like that. That's exactly how the comments would read. And then now the comments is slowly changing. Oh, brother Bijo, no, kill your whole family, bro. Oh, brother Bijo, you're a champ, bro. Please get help. Oh man, it's so sad to watch this CTE. CTE, Billy, that's METH, meth.
Yeah, so he's just method.
Yeah, it seems like that might be the problem.
BJ.
But yeah, it's sad. He's people.
Meth doesn't seem like a fun drug if you're going to assume everyone's been murdered and replaced. That's not fun.
I think when you do it, when you're spun long enough, you just become ultra paranoid.
Yeah. Here's the
good advertisement for not doing meth.
Troubling post. Last thing. He said, if I harm any of these people that are acting like my mom or my brothers, I go to jail and lose everything. If they harm me, nothing will happen to them and I lose everything. I have many black belts over the years that are police officers. Are you guys going to help me? Are we going to help JD, Reagan, and my mother and look for them and investigate these fake frauds who are trying to steal everything from my family? # Hawaii.
The last thing the cops want to do is go to BJ Penn's house when he's manic.
Well, I also love the idea that the way he wants to settle this is through martial arts and through the guys that he's trained that are police officers who are black belts. Like he's saying, hey, I know a lot of cops that I've trained over the years who I brought to black belt level, and I want you to come not with your guns, but with your training in your hands.
Yeah.
And you got to appreciate that.
Yeah. Alternative, I'd like to host a pay-per-view death match, me versus my family.
Me versus my mom, my fake mom.
All these cops are black belts, man.
You just
we'll make it clear, no one arrested for death.
Yeah, you just hope it doesn't end in a Benoit scenario. That's all.
Well, that's the thing with Kanye, man. It's like, is there someone that can get him help? Like you got to get in and fucking get that guy help. And
well, yeah, but I mean, good luck getting him to go to rehab, dude. He's posting videos of, like, how, like without
I know,
restraining
it's
him.
hard.
The problem is no one wants him anywhere. The rehab doesn't want him because they don't want a killing machine in there. Like that's supposed to be a chill. Like the police don't want to go over there and have to shoot him or get their asses kicked. The rehab doesn't want to take him. He's just like he's too dangerous.
Yeah, his mom should get a bear suit ASAP.
I'm looking for a bed for War Machine.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's a War Machine scenario.
Do you have any open beds for
the
War
pound for
Machine?
pound best fighter of 2008? You want to go take him down?
Yeah, it's tough.
Get a dart gun.
Damn.
Yeah, he needs to be sedated and cleaned out a little bit. That's for sure.
Get off the ice, bro.
Let's say
That's
he
BJ.
has been. This is the craziest he's been, but he's been kind of a dick for a while. Like he gets in fist fights.
To that point, Tiller live comment says
El
El Salvador? Question mark? Maybe he gets deported.
I mean,
He kills his mom. Maybe, maybe he deserves it.
Maybe so. I mean, it's one of the worst crimes you can commit. So maybe he'll be the first. We'll see. We'll talk hacked crosswalks on tomorrow's episode because you got to get on with your day here.
Man. Give us a
shows.
tease. How many people are crossing illegally, getting hit by cars?
No, they're not. It's funny. It's funny.
Is it electronic? Is it involved with? Is it electronic hacking?
Well, I'm definitely not giving you a tease. Yeah, they were. What were they hacked? Non-electronically?
I don't know if you were being cute. I don't know.
Instead of a walk symbol, is it like a picture of a dick?
It was a good tease.
It's along those lines. Along those lines.
Okay.
It's along those lines. Yeah. So just
now,
whet your
you can
appetite.
now walk into a dick like that. Like
Yeah,
a
kind of. Well, yeah,
message?
actually, yeah, you're right on track. But we'll cover it tomorrow. Don't worry. It's not. It's not. It's nothing that's pressing. You don't have to know this right now. You can know this tomorrow.
Okay.
But that's the show. Thank you for listening. Like we said at the top, patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.
The cream of the crop!